Hey everybody, Matthew Solomon here, coach with MatthewSolomon.com. We are going to talk about the Gap today. And I don't mean the store that wouldn't hire me in high school after taking the psychological evaluation. I never heard from them again. I'm not talking about the store. I'm talking about the space between where you're at and that thing you want. Where you're at and how you want to feel. Where you're at and how you want to experience life. Where you're at and that relationship. Where you're at and that new career. Where you're at and the money coming in, where you're at and whatever it is that you want that you're not having right now, that you're frustrated, that you're like, I just want that intimacy in my life and there's something wrong with me and I don't know what to do about it. There's nothing wrong with you. There's the gap. There's where you're at and what you want. And the way to close the gap, and the gap can be like this big or it can be like huge. And yes, like law of attraction says there's no difference between receiving a cup of coffee and $1 million. Maybe so, but the reality is our context of receiving a cup of coffee and $1 million is completely different. So the gap is our thoughts, our belief systems, the work we have to do to get there. You know, what if you want to be like the CEO of some like business organization, but you've never taken a business class? That's part of the gap, taking the courses and getting the training and the education or the experience to get there. Or it could be you just have beliefs that are running the show that are holding you back, that are like, I don't feel I'm worthy enough. I don't think people like me. I'm afraid to put myself out there. Procrastination is part of the gap. So how do you shorten the gap? Well, you look at what is the gap. And the first thing to do is to acknowledge there is a gap and then investigate. What's in my way? What's the stuff? What's the work to do to get there? And maybe you can do that on your own. You could journal and meditate, ask people, do research. But what if you had somebody in your corner looking with you, who's not looking through the lens of your, I don't wanna's or I'm afraid's or, whatever the beliefs are that are limiting you. Somebody who's like, yeah, I'm not buying the excuses. Let's look deeper. Let's look deeper. Let's look deeper. Let's go for it because you can do it. A lot of the time, a big part of the gap is just needing permission to go for it, just wanting permission to go for it because we hold ourselves back. So I'm the gap. I'm the closer of the gap. And if there's something that you want, a way you want to experience your life, types of intimate relationships, maybe you don't want an intimate relationship. Maybe you want to be okay with not having intimacy, whatever it is. The job change, the career change, a new strategy for getting into a new area of business from, like 9-to-5 business to advertising and marketing or something like that, whatever it is. When you have somebody on your shoulder looking with you, not falling for your bullshit excuses, things open up. So let's close that gap. I have spaces opening up. I have 3 spaces opening up for one-on-one and couples. Send me a message. Let's work together. October 1st is coming up. Let's do this. Thank you so much.